do something about it. I'm gonna get out of it.
Get Even konnte ich gerade spielen, ein sehr mysteriöses Spiel. Jetzt habe ich die Entwickler bei mir. So Get Even, I just got to play it for around 2 hours. It seems to be a very mysterious game. I still have no clue what really is going on and what direction it is moving. Can you tell me a bit about the story? Can you maybe clarify who I am and what my job is?
So, as far as I know, you are playing Core Black, which was an ex-military expert that was doing kind of dirty job for one person. That you might cover it or not yet, I'm not sure, because I don't know where you are in the demo now. Mm-hmm. And basically, the game starts about the first mission saying that, oh, you need to save a girl. And you don't really know why you need to do that. And but still, you are going there, and from now on, something strange will happen to you, and then basically it will be about figuring out why I'm here, and then you have maybe another step of the story. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so just to start from the basic, Get Even, I could describe Get Even as a psychological thriller and a story-driven game about the personal drama. Every of these words is important because we simply wanted to create a game that tells the personal story of the human, which is quite opposite to the most of the games which tell the story of the epicness, conflicts and so on. Get even means to take the revenge or settle the score, but in this case it means that there are two guys who have something against each other, and they are fighting against each other using different tools, even going or breaking inside the memory of the other person and playing with his memories to make him do something like this. So originally the concept was crafted after I watched the movie The Butterfly Effect. You know this movie. Yeah. So this was the story about the guy who has some problems in his life, and he used actually something what I would call video game mechanics, because he can replay his life. He can go back in time and he can fix what he did wrong. And after I watched this movie, I realized, okay, but this is the story not for the movie, this is the story for the video game. Because in the video games we have been using these mechanics for the years. Like after you fail on something, you can restart and you can try to change the output. So because movies are linear and games are technically or possibly non-linear, we realized that maybe it's good starting point for making a video game. Like we will allow people to replay their memories and try to change the reality, because then we have questioning what is real, what is reality. If you wake up in the abandoned asylum, then there are a couple of possibilities. First, okay, someone dragged you and moved you to the asylum, in real. Second, it's just your dream. And third, maybe it's the virtual reality simulation. You just don't remember how it all started because you have some issues with your memory. So that's how we play with all the story, and ultimately we wanted to play with the player's feelings. Like we wanted to have non-constant, let's say, level of immersion, engagement in terms of what you are really experiencing. At the beginning, you were probably wondering what's going on. It was a bit thrilling. Then there was a fear of some threat. Then there are some other emotions coming out from the game. So we wanted to make it very personal and very intimate for player to live with these emotions. And finally, we wanted to tell the story about the things that matters to you as a person in your real life. In this case, it was two questions. First, what is your biggest fear? Second, what is your biggest fantasy? In my case, it meant that because I'm a father, so my biggest fear is that what would happen if somebody could hurt my kids. It can be different for the other people, but for me, since I have kids, there's the biggest things that I could describe as the worst things that could happen to me. And on the other side, what is the biggest fantasy? In my situation, it's if I could go back in time and change some things in my life to make me a bit more different person. Maybe I would not work in the video game industry. Maybe I would go to the different college. Maybe I would live in the other country, and so on. So these two things crafted the whole Get Even story, and all the rest, the mechanics, the narrative, and so on, are subsidiaries to this base assumption.
Tell me about, you just mentioned virtual reality and immersion. Will this game, because I already read it also in the description of the game, is there going to be some sort of virtual reality support for this game?
No, there is no virtual reality support of the game because of all the locomotion and problem that it will create it. So it doesn't work that well with it.
Okay. And then the protagonist. I think the voiceover is absolutely amazing. I think it's such a good job, and you really feel immersed into the character. You hear him breathing and everything. When the situation gets tougher, you really feel there's a person there. But to me, he sounds familiar. Is it Sean Bean? Is it some? He sounds very much like Sean Bean. Do you know who the actor is?
Yeah, we know who the actor is. Not Sean Bean. He has a similar voice. The choice of this voice is coming from Olivier de Rivière. I don't know if you know him. He's kind of famous video game compositor, and that's a request for voice check. We wanted to create the first hero you are playing is a very stereotype of the gameplay guy. He's a big guy with a gun and look like a spy, and it's done in purpose to kind of make fun of the situation that usually video games are like that. And for the voice, it's also Olivier de Rivière wanted to create personality, and when we talked with the story writer, we chose the actor that we wanted to have in the game. They say, we need to have this accent, this northern accent stuff, because we can create identity and we can feel that he's a big guy with muscle. Yeah. That will feel different with usually like hero with a very neutral tone and very like neutral voice, because usually you don't want to don't feel the guy there, so you usually use an actor that is neutral, and this we do the opposite. We just create the personality of the guy by giving him the most strong voice as possible. Okay.
Good job. So there was the portion in the game now, I was in this office building. I had to get this around the corner gun, which I could use to shoot around corners. And there was quite a lot of shooting involved. Is shooting one of the core mechanics of the game, or is that something that is just part of the game occasionally?
Okay, so as you realize, there are shooting sequences in Get Even, but if you look at it from the perspective, then you have played like 3 locations or 3 different levels, and you kill just like, I don't know, 5 or 10 guys within 1 or 2 hours of gameplay. So that's actually something that makes Get Even closer to the movies than to the games, because in the video games usually you got, if it's a shooter, then you have like 1 hour of shooting and 10 minutes of story. And we did the opposite. Like we got the 1 hour of story and 10 minutes of shooting, which is basically closer to the movies. If you realize, for example, Die Hard or the Rambo movie, then you know Die Hard is technically, you could describe it as the movie about the Bruce Willis fighting the terrorists, but truly is the story about him trying to get along with his wife to save his marriage, and at his way to doing so, he has to kill like 10 terrorists. If you look at it from the distance, you could be surprised. What? He killed just 10 people, but this movie is described as the, action movie and so on.
Action movie.
Yeah, so in Get Even is something like this. We got the thriller, we got the action, but this is not the most important part of the experience. We use it to increase the tension. We use it to build some atmosphere. We use it to make you thrilled because of the thriller, but at the end we believe that what will be most remarkable things about Get Even is more about the way how it was used to develop the story than the way how shooting was done. Of course, we want shooting to be solid because as a company we have experience with making shooters and especially first-person shooters. So we played also this corner gun was the invention to allow us to add something unique or something new to the shooting itself. But at top of it, we are much more concerned about the discovering the mysteries and playing with the reality.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit more about what you said and what the game even says? You know, your actions have consequences. I can decide to kill people in the game and not to do so. What does that mean for the gameplay? How will that affect the game evolves?
So basically, it's. Can I spoil a bit, or I should not spoil at all?
It's up to you.
No, it's up to you.
You can spoil a little bit, of course. Why not?
So basically, it's all about trying to adapt. The game is trying to adapt to how the player is playing and to adapt his conditions. So you have, when you arrive in the asylum, you have this guy that is playing to you and he's speaking to you. And if you play it through, you will not really notice it. But basically what he's saying and the save that he's throwing at you will depend of what you did. For example, if you go in this office building and you didn't kill anybody, you just go around and evade them and go grab the gun and you didn't kill anybody, then he will probably be thinking, oh, you are a very nice spy, blah, 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 and it's nice to you, and have an opinion of what you are doing. And if you do the opposite, you just go there and rampage everyone and kill everyone, then he will have a different opinion of the person you are, which will basically impact how he treats you. But you have also like minor decision, like I think you went at some point where you have a puzzle where you needed to put back the electricity on, and you have like 4 switch that you needed to change. And it's very minor and not so many people will notice it, but if you come here and go it in the first row and play it, nothing will happen. You just go there and you solve the puzzle. But if you just miss with them and play like for a while, every time you are doing it, there is this sparkling and effect and the electricity is going out. And what you are doing, you don't really know it, but you are messing up with the electricity on the whole building, because every time you are breaking something, and you will know it later on, but you will never really know it, because you will have in one room, the electricity will be broken. The guy will tell you, oh, if you are not like so brutal with everything will be fine. But as a first play, you don't really know. But if you try again and you find, this was broken because what I did there, and it's always those subtle details that we try to craft and to. It's not that big, but still, it's we feel it makes some difference.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Ja, liebe Leute, Get Even, ein unglaublich interessantes Konzept. Das Spiel, das mit euch quasi mitwächst. So wie ihr spielt, so reagiert das Spiel auf euch. Deswegen muss man sich gut überlegen, wie man denn am besten vorgeht. Denn je nachdem können sich durchaus Sachen ändern. Man will ja nicht unbedingt der Elefant im Porzellanladen sein, sondern vielleicht ein bisschen smarter vorgehen. Sehr interessant. Wir sind gespannt, wie das Ganze dann zusammen funktioniert, wenn es dann fertig ist.